Okay, this video is about OpenTTD Terminus stations, and I'm making it due to a comment I left on a Lugnuts K video regarding networks, and he asked me to make a video on it, so I've finally got round to doing that. Anyway, this is about Terminus stations in OpenTTD, and a couple of my designs, or the couple I use. So this is the basic design. The Terminus station needs an input and an output, and on the bottom here we can see the input line with a signal, and we have one input line going into platform 1 and the second input line going under the bridge into platform 2, and both can exit at any time without interfering each other. Platform 1 can go over the bridge past these signals onto the exit line, and platform 2 can go straight out. So this has a lot of advantage over a regular crisscross style of terminus station where each platform doesn't interact with each other, which means you can have stations entering and exiting without interfering with each other. So this is very advantageous compared to the regular terminus station. The downside is that we need to use bridges, and we need to use a lot of space, as you can see. So this is only a 2 platform, so this is relatively compact for its benefit, but as we increase the station size, the platform size, we are going to see this get larger and larger, and for every platform you add, this initial bridge will have to gap another entry line. So this one under the bridge here, there'll be another one here, and I'll show that in an upcoming area. So let's move to that one then. So this is the terminus station with now 5 platforms, and again we have on the bottom here one entry line for platform 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and they're all going under these bridges, and every time they pass this signal, the line will get reserved for that train. And so as soon as a train enters past the signal again, so long this train has a free line, so for instance the train has not yet entered into platform 1, but it's past the first 1 or 2 lines going into platform 4 and 5, that line can be reserved, because that's how path signals work. It needs a clear signal line. So we can use this pathing signal to send one train straight down to platform 1, and if there's one right behind it, it might go into platform 5, it might go into platform 4, but this keeps it all flowing. And then we're going to use that for the exit, these bridges. So as you can see, there's a lot longer bridges, and the downside to this is their speed. So bridges have a top speed of about 250 kilometers per hour. This is fine if you're using regular trains, electric trains, but as soon as you go into maglevs and levitation trains, the speed limit on the bridges is going to hurt your terminus station, hurt your network, and we'll have to switch to tunnels, which is better but also has problems of its own. So this one is getting to the larger side. As you can see, it's quite long. This bridge is, I believe, 13 tiles long, and as you add platforms, they just get longer and longer. And if you try to upgrade, you have to destroy all the bridges, rebuild everything, because you have to put in the new entry line into platform 6 now. We have to extend the bridges over, but this still has a lot of benefits over a regular simple terminus station. And as you can see down here, each bridge comes off into a pathing signal, which I've split off into different lines, and then they can enter on the exit line there. The bridge itself acts as a block signal as well, as far as I know. So as soon as this train enters this bridge, it's possible for another train to enter that platform. With this arrangement, it's possible to have 2 or 3 trains that could be loading, let's say, wood or coal. But if you've got goods coming through here, just pick up and exit. Those won't be interfered with at all, as those platforms will be taken, but the other lines are still operational. The reason we're using this one is that the train exit speed is more important than the entry speed. We want to get things loaded and sent off on their way rather than and trying to hit their top speed coming out of the station, which is why we want this in a straight line. It is possible to do this in the reverse, and I'll just show this one over here. So on this side, we have the opposite. Again, it's 5 stations long. But on the bottom here now, we have the entry signal. And this is actually going into the bridges. So they're coming in and across the bridges over towards the station. They finish loading, and then they come out, and they come out under the bridges back onto the line. You can do it like this. I believe, and it's my personal preference not to do it like this. The trains are going to have to go on an angle, are going to have to go up and over the bridges, which is slower. And you want the exit to be nice and smooth and quick. But it is possible to do it like this, and depending on if you've got like a map constraint or something. But again, you can see this quite a large size, and this is only five platforms wide. And again, you're going to have the speed issue. So if you want to solve the speed issue for maglev, for levitation trains which have very, very high top speeds above the bridge limit, you're going to have to use tunnels. And honestly, for a simple terminus station, the tunnel is a very good choice. As you can see, this is a 2-platform terminus, and we have only one tunnel here instead of the bridge going over, and this will provide the maximum speed, and it's neat and tidy. It gives exactly the same benefits as this one over here, but without the train having to go up and down over the bridge. It can simply go into the tunnel, out of the tunnel, and out on its way. Now, if you want to expand on this, however, we're going to run into some issues. So the way bridges only need one square to operate in. So when you build a bridge, it can go from point to point. But a tunnel needs 2 spaces. It needs a space for the rail to come up or down, and it needs a space for the tunnel itself. And so when you start building tunnels next to each other in the same line, at some point the tunnel is going to want to build next to it. So if you wanted to build a tunnel here, well, let's say here, and you wanted to exit here, it's not possible. The tunnel is going to want to exit right next to this one because the land is deformed to the left and the right of the tunnel. And so when I built the next size up, so we've got a 4-platform terminus station now using the tunnel method, we have each line having a number of tunnels, and each tunnel needs to be longer than the next. So this first tunnel coming out of platform 1, we have a space of 1, goes down. The tunnel length is only 2 tiles underneath the entry and exit. Coming out of platform 2, it needs to be extended to 3, and that's because every single platform now, until the exit point, is going to need an extra tunnel so that it can go underneath the entry point rail. So every time a train needs to come in and over, we need to build a tunnel under it. But unlike the bridge solution, where you can simply just slap a bridge straight over all of the bridges and have an extra exit point here, it's not possible with the tunnels. It's not possible because of the way that terrain is deformed. So on the second platform here, we can see that we're coming down, and now this has a 1, 2, 3 gap of rail. And then we have the tunnel, and it's 1, 2, 3. And we have both tunnels coming out here, and now platform 3 is going to come out, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And this rail is going to be 4 long, and then here's the exit. And the reason for that is these need to line up. As you can see, if we tried to build the tunnel, one slot behind is going to hit this rail, and it's not possible to build over the tunnel in this square here. And so every time you build another entry line into a platform, you need to have the first platform's tunnel come out past it. And so to line that up correctly, you need to have the platform exit line coming down at the same time as the next tunnel. So we have 1 here, 2 here, and we end up with the 3 tunnel exit coming out and merging on the 1 line. And just for comparison, we've got the 5-platform bridge concept. And then with only 4, with the tunnel concept, it's a lot longer. So with 5, it's going to be another tunnel, and the tunnel is going to be 5 tiles long. So every time you add a platform, it's getting +1 in length. And so by the time you add a 5th one, if you put a 5th one here, the tunnel is going to exit at somewhere around here, and all of the tunnels have to exit at this point. But the advantage is that you can use these tunnels for the absolute maximum speed. They come straight out of the station, and the entry point is still nice and flowing and smooth. So I can unpause. We can show some trains. So that you can see the train is being reserved this line already because this first train went into platform 1, and this third train now is coming through. This one is exiting underneath the tunnel. This one is going to get reserved platform 3. And that one's going through all of the tunnels at its maximum speed, and it'll merge onto the main line. Here comes the first train, and because platform 1's free, you can go to platform 1 as platform 2 is exiting and platform 3 is entering. So it's very efficient as a terminus station. Ideally, you still want to use RoRos in almost all cases. RoRos are easily expandable. They're cheaper to build. The other problem is this tunnel system is way more expensive than the bridge system even, and uses the most area. So RoRos use the least area. You can put as many tracks in, as many tracks out, going wherever you like. It's a lot more flexible. But if you want to build a terminus station, this is definitely some of the better designs. I guess let's just try and quickly build one. Hopefully the video syncs up. So let's grab a 2-platform station here, and we'll pop it down. And the first thing you're going to do is put 2 pieces of rail here. This is just a personal preference thing, but it prevents platform 1 from having some issues between having the bridge start at this point and the train coming out of the station at an angle, because again the station is used as a block. So we'll put 1 track down coming out a diagonal, so this is going to be our entry line, and then we put 1 track just after the diagonal, and that's where our bridge is going to be. So we're keeping this in mind. This square here is going to be the bridge. So we grab the second platform and rail, extend that out, making sure we don't touch that, bring that diagonally down. Now we have a space here. We can grab a bridge, click it there, drag it over, put a bridge down, pop some more rail, hook them up, and we can pop some signals down like so. And there you go. You have a simple terminus 2-platform in and out, nice and quick style.